So we talked a little bit about the system, mechanics-wise, and a little bit about wildcards, but we don't really know how to create a character. For that part, I'm going to bring in my associate Joe, who's hosting today, and talk a little bit about that and build a character or two between the two of us. All right, so for character creation, Joe's here with me, so we can go ahead and talk about it from a character's point of view. For character creation, some of the stuff is basic, like I said, mechanics of the system. You can run it with the core book if you like. For the setting we're going to go over to make characters for, it's going to be East Texas University, which is a little bit different. It's the only setting where you have to go ahead and do midterms and exams.
Okay. I left that many years ago, but okay, that'll be cool.
The funny thing is, failing your exams and midterms actually has a penalty in the game.
It does?
Yeah. Well, you know, if you're on, academic probation, it's kind of hard to go out and be Buffy the Vampire Slayer type characters if, you need to study.
I guess. Yeah. So, all right, so this is Buffy the Vampire Slayer
College years.
Okay, cool.
For East Texas University, it's a through Pinnacle Entertainment Group. It was a Kickstarter. For the setting, you're in East Texas, in a city specifically called Pine Box.
Pine Box, okay.
If you've ever been to like a college town, you have like the little big town feel. But since this is Savage Worlds and it's East Texas, there's going to be weird stuff going on. You don't know that necessarily going in, but you find that out over time. You're also a freshman, so you're not that worldly yet, but you can drive.
Okay, so we're freshmen at East Texas University. So what are my options? Should we start with the character concept, or should we start with stats? What should we start with?
Well, I can go over for basic character creation. For stat-wise, you have your smarts, your agility, your strength, your vigor.
Smarts, agility, strength, vigor,
and spirit. Your smarts, that's going to be your intelligence, agility, your dex pretty much.
Yeah.
Strength is strength. Vigor is like taking a hit or...
Okay, or how much I can drink?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
The GM, another role firm, is specifically for ETU, East Texas University, for the setting. They're also called the Dean, since everybody's playing a student.
Okay.
As the Dean, I don't really recommend you drink underage because it might be one of those situations where you get caught. You're getting tased by a security guard on,
So I'm a freshman, so I'm probably, 19 years old, 18, 19 years old?
Not the legal age.
Okay.
I mean, you could take the chance just like everything else.
I think I'm going to be 19 years old.
Okay. You can start way late if you want.
No, it's fine. It's fine. That sounds cool. All right.
So to go over the attributes real quick, your smarts, agility, strength, vigor. Spirit is kind of like if you play D&D, like your willpower, or and you're in a situation where you're somebody's telling you to do something that you don't want to do, or you're scared because you saw a werewolf.
Okay.
Or you're scared because you're on probation and your parents are coming to visit and you told them you have straight A's. It's one of those situations.
Okay, and what did you say? That's spirit?
Spirit.
Okay, cool. All right, so
did you want to go with me, tell you like a little bit about the system first, and then you figure out where you want to put your stats? Or did you want to come with the character concept and work backwards from there?
I think we just do the character concept. I'd rather.
Okay.
I always like to, no matter what game I play, I like to do the character concept.
Okay.
So, so I'm a college student. I'm 19 years old. I'm going to be male.
Okay.
So gender's going to be male. And
you will have to pick a major.
Okay.
We do have a list. You don't have to come with
okay. So so there's a list.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe.
There's a list if you want to look through.
Oh, there's a list on here. Okay.
Like,
so agriculture.
You definitely need the book for this if you're going to play ETU. Unless you're like in academia, all your college degrees off the top of your head.
Okay. I'm going to say I don't see this character being the military type.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this is a. You know what? I think he's going to be a. It's going to be a art student.
Okay.
All right. So his major is fine arts.
So you'd be art or liberal arts?
No, art.
Art. Like
He's a
music, painting, sculpting.
right. He's a. You know what? He's a musician. He's a musician. Fine arts musician. Let's see. He plays.
You don't have to pick the instrument. Maybe you're trying to figure out so you can do all instruments, or figure out how to compose it digitally. Well,
Okay.
you
Yeah, we
leave
can do
yourself
that.
a little,
We can do
little
that.
bit open.
All right. All right. So male. He's into his whatchamacallit. His major is music. He's a musician. I also see him in the side playing in a band.
Okay.
Like I don't know. He probably, let's say he plays. He's a drummer. That's what he is. He's a percussionist. He's a drummer in a band. That's it. Drummer. All right. Cool. He's a drummer.
All right.
He does that on the side
Cool.
for his not beer money.
Okay. If we're going through just like the setting book, first step is going to be the race. You're gonna have to play human. There's no fish people, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's no X-Men. Everybody's a human.
Okay,
so
everybody's a human.
Nice
All right.
thing is, you will get one free edge because of that, though.
All right.
Next step was picking your major,
Okay.
which we have done. Because of that, though, your major skill. Students take exams. Yes, you will be tested. I'm not actually going to give you an actual physical test. It will be a roll instead.
Okay. That's good.
Because if you pick
That's stuff.
brain science, here's a dead no. Different kind of role playing game.
Yeah.
This is called your major skill.
Mm-hmm.
You actually have a knowledge in this area, so you will have a knowledge arts.
Oh, okay. So I have a skill, and it's a knowledge skill.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool. So this knowledge skill is arts.
Yeah. If it's going to be something related to that, that will be one of the skills that you can draw on for common knowledge.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Because it's kind of like something you study a lot since it's your major.
Okay. Cool. So I have a skill in art, general knowledge about art.
Okay. For traits, which is your attributes and skills.
Okay.
For traits, you start off with a D4 and everything.
Okay.
The average person is 6. Starting off, you have 5 points to distribute to those 5 stats any way you want. So you have a D4 starting.
Uh-huh.
You can change one of those to D8,
Uh-huh.
which means you go up 2.
So that's 2 points.
That's 2 of your 5 points.
Okay.
So it really goes off of, for your guy, name pending, what do you feel are his high and low?
Okay. So I think his spirit should be high, because I think he's kind of a
Independent?
not just independent, but he's kind of like extroverted, outwardly like gung ho about whatever he really likes to do. So to me, I think his spirit might be a D8.
Okay.
Okay.
That does fall into a little bit more of a charisma, though, if you think about it as well. That's something we didn't talk about. There's secondary traits. Everyone starts out with a 0 charisma unless you have edges or hindrances that give you a bonus for that or a hindrance to that.
Okay. So what are the secondary traits?
All the secondary traits, there's something called parry.
Okay.
So if you get into a fight, having a high parry is good.
Okay.
A fight being with your fist or with
Sure.
beer bottle that you did not drink.
That sounds pretty self-explanatory. What's the others?
There's something called toughness, which goes off of your vigor. We'll get into how to calculate those
Okay.
a little bit later.
And then what else?
There's also going to be charisma.
Okay.
And specific to this setting, it's called academics. You have a 0 in charisma and academics unless we get some hindrances or edges in place.
So wait, is there a third called, or a fourth one called academics?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the one you actually roll for your tests. It's
Okay.
basically how good of a student are you at this music thing. You might be very good
Wait. At music or overall?
overall for arts.
Overall for arts.
Well,
Okay.
you might enjoy your music classes, but you also have to do like maybe a sculpture class as an elective,
Okay.
part of required things.
All right. So charisma. Charisma goes off of what?
Charisma is actually 0 unless you have edges or hindrances
Oh. Okay.
that play into that to go ahead and give you a bonus to it.
Okay. Well, I still think this character's spirit is pretty high.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put his spirit at a D8.
Okay.
Okay. I don't see him as overly smart,
Okay.
but I don't think he's stupid either. So I'm gonna move his smarts up to D6.
Okay. So you got 2 left.
Yep. And then I think his vigor should probably be a D6. And that puts my agility and strength. So I don't see him as very smart, or not smart. I don't see him as very strong, but I do see him as very quick. So let's put him as agility's up.
Oh, because he's that drummer in there, just in the back. They're just pounding away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really good at
I can
keeping
see
time. All right, so smarts D6, agility D6, strength D4, vigor D6, spirit D8. So cool. All right.
My apologies, I did forget there is another derived attribute called pace.
Pace.
That one's going to be 6
Okay.
starting. Again, unless you get some hindrances or edges in place. Because if you
Alright.
get the hindrance like you only have 1 leg, you're not going to be walking as fast as her.
Okay, I gotcha. All right, so then, so what's next?
Skills.
Okay.
There's an actual skill list we can go over through the book. You'll have 15 points to put out on your different skills.
Okay, let's see.
How you want.
Skill list. Skill lists, page 24.
For how skills work during character creation, you have 15 points starting that you can break out any way you wish. They're cheapest if you do it to the linked attribute that they go off of. Like, let's say you want to be good at noticing things, that goes off your smarts. If you have your smarts as a D6, putting your notice to a D6 is only going to cost you 2 of those points. If you want your notice at a D8, since that's above your smarts, it's going to cost you 1 for a D4, 2 for a D6, and the D8 is going to cost you 2.
Okay. I think I understand. So how many points of skills do I get?
15.
15 points for skills. Okay. And do I have to spend a point to obtain the skill, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, should we do the derived stats now or after skills?
We should probably do derives after you do your skills. Well, we've done most of them. Academics is going to be 0 starting out.
Okay.
Toughness is going to be, what do you have for vigor? D6. So you take the 6 out of the D6, you divide it by 2.
So 3,
And then you add 2.
3, 4, 5.
So it'd be 5 for your toughness. Your parry is going to be whatever you have for a fighting dice,
Yeah.
divided by 2,
Okay.
plus 2.
Okay. So, and fighting is a skill.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so this guy's a drummer. He is not he's an average student, but he's a good drummer, all right?
Okay.
And part of that is his spirit and his vigor and his agility. I'd say that he's maybe, let's see, what else does he like to do? I'd say he's probably also he's also very good at, let's say he's very good at video games.
Okay.
Okay. So is there a skill with any of that kind of thing? Let's see. Maybe he's really good at video games, and he likes online shooters. So I think he's going to have a little bit of a shooting ability, but only because he's works games, not because he goes out there with a weapon.
Well, maybe he likes more of the realistic where, he uses his iron sights versus zooming in. He actually aims literally to shoot.
Okay. So I'd say he's maybe like just a D4.
Okay.
Okay, because he's you know, you put a gun in his hand and he kind of knows what to do with it,
Yeah.
but not
You know,
completely.
he knows how to aim.
Yeah. He's gotten in a number of fights
Okay.
because, you know, when you're in a band and you play the bars that he plays, sometimes, you know, sometimes you know, you get into fights. So let's say his fighting, right? That's a skill.
Okay.
Let's say it's a D6. He's actually been in a couple fights, so
Okay.
that's 2 points, right?
Okay.
Because fighting goes off of what?
Agility.
Agility.
Same thing as shooting.
Okay.
This would be an example of if he got into a lot of fights and he's, you know, got a couple scars and he
Yeah.
knows how to fight multiple people because
Yeah.
it's been so. You want to go to a D8. It would, instead of costing 2 points, that would be a situation where it costs 4 because your agility is a D6.
Okay, I
Since
get
it goes
you.
above
So,
the tribute.
so the shooting D4 costs 2 or 1? 1.
Costs 1 because it goes off your agility.
The fighting D6 costs 2.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. What else?
Well, we have. I guess we could just go through all of them. You have boating, climbing, driving, fighting, gambling.
Oh, we're in Texas, right?
Yes.
Okay, driving. So,
Now, for the record, the driving ability doesn't mean, like, you're a college student, you can figure out how to drive a manual and an automatic. Don't need the skill. The driving skill is for, well, it's either one of those. And this area I'm driving through is really tight. I need to get the car on 2 wheels to get through.
okay.
Or you want to do like a U-turn in the middle of traffic.
Here's my thing. Here's why I think he's got some skill in this. Is because he loves off-roading.
Okay.
You know, that's like one of his hobbies. So he likes to do off-roading.
This is an important question. Is this guy from Texas?
Yes,
Or,
he's
okay,
from Texas.
he's Texan.
He's actually from let's say he's from Austin.
Okay.
He's from Austin.
As a GM, when I find out these things about the players, I like to go ahead and Google and find out about these places and, you know, mess with them a little bit. So and so's happening in his hometown while he's at college.
So driving's I put driving as a D. Driving goes off of what? Agility?
Agility as well.
Yeah, okay. So I put it as a D6, but I actually think he's done quite a bit of it.
Okay.
Off-
So
So I'm going to say he's a D8.
okay.
So
So
that's
it
4
says-
points, right?
Yes, because it goes above your primary.
Okay, cool. All right, so that's 4 points. All right, so shooting, fighting, and driving. All right, so that kind of covers what, you know, what he did in his childhood.
Okay.
Okay.
You did mention about how he's social and whatnot. So there are a couple of different skills for that. There's something called intimidation.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't see him as intimidating.
That's the mean way of being
Yeah.
social.
Right.
There's also taunt, which is the smart way of being social, where you're trying to get somebody to do something you want or provoke them. And there's also persuade, which is the nice way of asking somebody to do something.
Yeah. I think he's generally a nice guy, so I think persuasion.
Okay.
But I don't think he's made a big deal out of persuading people to do things.
He's not super sly. He's more
No.
polite.
Yeah.
He's that old school Texas gentleman thing's probably been ingrained in him, where he's like,
Yeah. His mama taught him right.
yeah, he's like, I really appreciate it if we didn't have to get into this fight and you put down that, you know, pool cue, because, you know, I'm gonna get a whooping either way. So if I break your leg, it's on you.
So
That's more intimidation.
So persuasion would go off of what?
Your spirit.
Spirit. Oh, okay. So I could already go up to a D8, right? Because and that would cost me 2.
It would cost you 3 because it goes D4, D6, D8.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go D8.
Okay.
That's going to cost me 3. So I've got 7, 8, 9, 10 points spent. I need
Yeah.
5 more.
Did you want any in your knowledge skill of art?
Oh yeah.
I need to actually look up to see if you get anything for free in that, but I forgot to. So
and that would be smarts, right?
I believe so.
So I'll do D6. So that's 2 points. Okay. So I have spent 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 out of my 15. I have 3 more. Okay. Do I spend these 15 points on anything other than skills?
No, these are just for skills.
Okay, cool. So
Let's see what we haven't seen. There is stealth, repair, riding. Riding is more not like, well, you use your driving skill for automobiles, boating for
Boating.
water
Boats.
crafts,
Yeah.
piloting for anything in the air. Riding would be like a horse.
I could actually see him actually have some mechanic skills.
Okay.
Maybe he's done things like I think he's got like an old maybe Toyota pickup, and he's lifted it, put a lift kit on himself, and the whole deal. So,
For an East Texas University, you having a car is actually a thing.
what
You actually having a car,
Yeah.
is actually a thing.
is
Based,
what?
based on like how nice the car is
Yeah.
on that's actually part of the mechanics in there.
Okay, well, cool. But I think that I would like to do that.
Okay.
So I think mechanics, being able to work on his car, is something he should have. So what would it be? Mechanics?
Be repair.
Repair.
Repair is like a very they do it very broad. Like repair could be anything from you're fixing that car to you done with that computer to that door is broken. I could fix it.
And that's smarts, right? That
Yes.
would go smarts, so D6. So that would be 2 points. So that would be, then I've only got, what, 1 point left?
Out of 15.
Yeah, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I got 1 point left.
Okay.
So I guess I should have asked at the beginning here, since this is supposed to be Buffy the college years.
Well, that's why I said for the setting, but you are a drummer in a band that's going to college for a art degree. So,
Yeah.
would
So would I know anything about? I'm assuming there's supernatural things that
it's
will
like
happen.
you kind of get like the funny thing of like, well, here's the thing: you're from Austin.
Yeah.
You're coming out here and you're like, it's quiet at 9 o'clock on a Thursday. This is weird.
Uh huh.
Of course, you don't know this is weird because it's small town.
Uh huh.
On the meta side of things, it's probably because of supernatural stuff. Some people don't want to, the locals know more than people.
They don't
who
come
just-
out at night usually.
When you went to orientation, they don't tell you like all this stuff because some people still don't believe it,
Mm-hmm.
or some people know about it and they're doing it doesn't show up in the Google search of the area. It's not an
Okay.
orientation. They tell you if you go out on Thursday nights alone, wear a chain of garlic.
So it wouldn't be unreasonable that I wouldn't know really anything about the supernatural.
Right.
Okay. All right. Cool. So I have 1 point to spend. Let's say you know what? I'll take it in streetwise.
Okay.
So it'll be a D4 in streetwise.
That goes off your smarts.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing about, let's say you wanted to like throw something to, and it's going to be a check. Just because you don't have throw
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean you can't do it. Because throwing something's, as long as you have something to throw and you have both arms still, you're
Mhm.
not constrained. You just roll a D4 and a D6 because you're a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So I
And
can
it
do
just be
things even
minus
though
two.
I don't have the skill.
Yes, but it's easier to do something like, it's very easy for you to persuade somebody versus, grab a gun in midair that's being tossed at you and shoot at somebody while you're diving. That's
Yeah.
going to be complicated versus, hey, can you not do that because that guy doesn't want to get hit by the car.
Okay.
Don't push him out in the street. Like, yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, so this guy's kind of coming together. I mean, I'm starting to get an idea about him. So Perry went off of what, fighting? Did you say?
Yes.
So my fighting is a D6.
So it'd be 6 divided by 2, which is 3,
Uh huh.
plus 2.
3, 4, 5. Okay, cool.
So let's say it was an average guy that you were fighting, who had an average skill in fighting of a D6.
Mm-hmm.
Since he's not a wild card, he would just roll a D6, and he need to get a 5 or higher to be able to hit you.
I get it. Okay, that sounds good. So what's next?
We went over traits. Next step is going to be edges and hindrances.
Edges and hindrances. All right. So how many edges do I get?
Well, you get 1 for free since you're
Okay.
human.
Okay.
Your rank, since you're going to be starting off in the game, since you're It's college based.
Uh-huh.
Instead of being a novice, you're a freshman.
Okay.
Because, it's your first year of college.
So should I do the edges first or the hindrances?
For the hindrances, I can go ahead and go over. There are some new ones
Okay.
specific for ETU.
Okay.
I can read off of those. There's also, I believe, for the hindrances and the edges, there should be a master list as well.
I think it's, if I remember paging through the book, I think it's further back.
Yeah. I think they put the edge list and the hindrance list next to each other.
Yep, here it is. All right, so we are cut. That camera's out of juice. Okay.
Okay.
So that's okay. We'll just do the rest of it straight on.
All right.
That's fine. So let's so we can just start. Ready?
With
So,
hindrances?
yeah.
Okay.
And 3, 2, 1, take 9.
So if your hindrances, in the main book, they have a nice summary listing where you can look to see what all the hindrances are in a short description. If it's something that's interesting, you can flip through this section and they give you the long description, all the meat and potatoes.
Okay.
This is pretty much a shorthand to give you all the crunchy mechanics of the system, how it works.
Okay, cool.
Now for hindrances, you can pick one major, which will give you 2 points for character creation. I'll explain that in a minute. And you can pick 2 minors that'll give you 1 point for character creation as well.
Okay.
You can take more hindrances than that, but you don't get any additional points besides that.
Okay. All right. So
One's new for ETU. I can read them off to you, or you
Sure.
can read it for yourself if you want
no,
to.
go right ahead.
ADHD,
Okay.
which is a minor one. You pretty much have a hard time staying focused when you're studying. You suffer a -2 to your academics and notice rolls.
Okay.
But your lack of focus results in a +2 to resist tests of wills because, I'm trying to do something in combat where it's a test of wills against you, and then I realize you're on your phone playing, like, some app.
Right.
And you're like, I'm sorry, what?
All right. So all right. So that's kind of cool. What other? Just tell me the titles because I'm kind of going off of
General description?
just general description.
Annoying roommate, which is another minor one.
That would be good.
You roll on that for a table for how they're annoying. Anti-technology aura, which is major. You just kind of have technology
Nah,
stuff.
I don't think I can be a
going
drummer and
first.
be anti-technology.
Cursed, which is major. There's a table for that. Fraidy cat is minor.
Nope.
When you're scary
He's not
stuff
gonna be
on.
afraid.
Overprotective parents minor.
Oh.
Well, before you think about that one, there's also party animal minor.
Okay.
A lot of these are basically like very college themed.
Of course.
Poverty, you really don't have that much money for pocket money going to college.
Okay.
That's
I
major.
kind of like the overbearing parents, but I also like the party animal. So let me go for a hindrance. I'll take the.
If you take overprotective parents as a minor, party animal as a minor, you still have one major you can pick as well. So you can bet both of those if you like them.
No, I think I like party animal. Okay. Because he likes to party.
Okay.
And keep going.
For in the setting, the last 3 are second fiddle.
Okay.
You kind of feel like you're a sidekick in a lot of situations.
Right.
Townie, but since you're from
Austin, I'm not a townie.
Then there's trouble magnet, minor and major.
Okay.
That's an interesting thing for the GM to have.
Yeah.
I mean,
Interesting
besides
for the GM.
all the normal stuff that's going on, if you have this, pretty much something specifically always happens around you.
Yeah, I see. You know what? I'll take.
There's also this entire list here
Yeah.
that you can go off as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna take and I'll take trouble magnet. Okay, and I'll take major.
Okay, I really like that.
Trouble magnet. Major.
Since that one's going to be basically your major hindrance, I'll go ahead and read that one off.
Okay.
Trouble always follows this hero. Things never go as planned, and the center never holds. Once a session, trouble wanders across your character's path. This could come in the form of an unhappy ex, a hot but crazy person of the opposite sex who is not an ex, but you kind of feel they're acting that way. A policeman with a dislike for the hero, because you were drinking underage, who likes to write you tickets. Oh, man. An unexpected flat tire, a faulty hard drive, or maybe just being the character targeted by some foe's random attack.
Okay,
So,
that's pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and... Is there a cursed minor, or is it just major? I saw
for this one, it's
just major
only.
Okay.
Because curses are kind of a big thing.
All right.
For party animal, you remember that movie Animal House?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you know exactly who.
Yeah.
Whenever you attend a party or there's downtime, Dean's Call, your overindulgence kicks into effect and you get wiped out, mentally drained, or just plain hungover afterwards.
I got it. I'm going to take habit. Okay. My habit, because I'm a drummer, my habit is that I've always got either drumsticks with me, or for some reason I don't have drumsticks with me. I'll just use my fingers. But I'm always... And it's like, I don't even know I'm doing it.
Okay.
That's my habit. And it's annoying. I'm sure. To people who, yeah, it's annoying. Party animal, trouble magnet, and I have a habit of drumming on, like, everything.
As a GM, this is going to be awesome when people are trying to sneak around.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking to myself, yeah, you know, if I've got 2 seconds, if I've got like a minute where nothing's happening, you know, it's just like my brain automatically goes into like 4/4 time.
Okay.
All right, cool. All right, so that's my hindrances.
We'll go ahead and let you look it up in the book, because you can actually use character like sheets for this. But another nice thing I like about Savage Worlds is in most situations you can pretty much do a character on a note card.
Yeah, it does seem pretty easy. So edges, how many edges do I get?
Well, you get one for free, but since you have one major and 2 minor hindrances, you have 4 points you can use toward 2 of those to advance an attribute if you'd like to hire. Spend 2 of those to get 2 points in any skills that you have.
Okay.
Bump it up to the attribute, or bump 1 higher. Or you can get an edge for 2 points. So you can do any combination of those to spend your 4 points.
Okay, so I do think I'm going to bump my strength up from D4 to D6.
Okay.
Okay. And so he's average strength.
Okay.
So I have 2 points then left, right? In addition to my free edge. Okay. And I'm going to spend... Well, let's see what the edges are.
There's a lot of edges. There's also one specific for the...
Yeah, what are the ones
setting.
Specific to the setting?
I'll just go off of the titles, and if there's something interesting grabs your attention, we can go over that.
Okay.
Devout. Local favorite. For edges, this is an interesting thing versus everything else. Some edges, there are requirements that you need to have for them. So there might be an edge that sounds really good, and you realize you can't get it starting out.
Right, so they have prerequisites. Okay, cool. So let's keep going. Let's see what else do I can we go there? Go there.
Local favorite. Noble.
Okay.
Rich and filthy rich.
Okay.
You
Maybe.
From money. Test taker. Do you have a smarts of D8?
I do not.
Okay, well, you can't take test taker. But, you know, that may not be your thing. You may not enjoy taking tests.
Maybe not.
Combat edges. Be a zebra. You get a +2 to your parry when you're adjacent to an ally or fellow target Dean's Call.
Okay.
Gunslinger, you're not a senior.
Nope.
Professional edges, Demon Slayer, not a senior.
No.
I like the fact that they put that there. That Demon Slayer, you got to be a senior. It doesn't say how many years you had to be a senior, but that's something you only get when you're a senior.
Okay. No, I'm a freshman.
Faithful, you need Devout, High Spirit, and to be a senior for that one. Fearless, also senior. Guts, no, that's for a sophomore. Multitasker, if you have a D6 in your Spirit and Smarts, and you're a freshman, you can take this one. You can choose 2 curricular activities versus normally 1.
Okay.
The curricular activities is kind of mechanic specific to the setting, much like your academics.
Okay.
And taking tests.
Okay.
Sage, you need to be a senior and have a really high Smarts. Warlock or Witch, you need to have ritualism and be a 3rd-year student. Weird edges.
So is there something supernatural-ish that I could get into as a freshman in my edges?
There's something called Danger Sense.
Okay.
And one of the requirements for that is psychically sensitive.
Okay. How do I become psychically sensitive?
It's going to be an edge. You need to be a freshman with a spirit of D6 or higher.
And I am.
You are. What this one does is something about this student gives her an affinity for paranormal energies and beings. You add +2 to all rolls made to sense or communicate with supernatural beings. Of course, the downside is if such a creature knows the person is receptive, they're more likely to actually attempt contact with you.
Okay.
That may not actually be something you'll want to happen at ETU. Like most people, they're like, this place is a little bit weird, and you're like, there's something creepy going on. You can't explain it.
Right.
You know.
Right. Okay, I actually like that. So let's spend those 2 edges. Let's get that psychically. Would you say psychically attuned?
Psychically psychically sensitive.
Okay.
Like them. And Danger Sense.
Okay, and Danger Sense. And I do have a Spirit of D8, so...
Okay.
And so that kind of... Both of those fit with my character. Because, to me, he's a trouble magnet, but maybe part of the reason why he's a trouble magnet is because he's kind of psychically sensitive, and...
Or it might have just been over time. You've been in so much stuff, you're like... You've developed your own spidey sense for... I know I'm in trouble right now.
I think that, but I also think that maybe he's untrained. Like, he doesn't really understand that he's psychically sensitive, okay? And so what he's doing is he's kind of tapping into the paranormal, and he doesn't know. And maybe some of the paranormal doesn't like it, or they're playing with him, or whatever, so trouble follows him.
Okay.
You know?
What Danger Sense does is that'll give you a bonus to your notice since you're psychically sensitive to...
Yeah. Okay. All right, I like this.
For the most part, you're pretty much done with a character, except for a semester allowance.
Semester allowance, and that's specific to this setting, right?
Yes.
So what would my semester allowance be?
Since you didn't take the poverty hindrance, which is good, you don't have rich or filthy rich, your semester allowance is going to be $500.
$500.
Now, $500 means for the semester how much money you have.
Beyond my tuition?
You don't have to worry about the tuition paying it.
Okay.
You have to worry about like everything else that's not covered.
Well, that's all right. You know why? Because I think he's going to be... He probably subs out for extra beer money as a drummer for various bands.
Okay.
You know, like when a band needs a drummer.
Getting a job is an actual thing in here. So
It's an actual what?
getting a job is an actual thing.
Oh, so I can get a job.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Since you're in middle class for the student, for a vehicle, you have a used pickup.
There you go.
No SUVs or sports cars for you. Draw once on the used car glitches table to see what kind of problem the vehicle has.
That's all right.
And yes, used vehicles have glitches.
So he drives. Let's see, and we're starting it as if we're this year, right? So it's 2017.
Yeah.
So let's say he has a 2009 Toyota Tacoma.
Okay. That's not an SUV, is it?
Nope.
Okay.
No, it's a pickup. It's a mid-size or a small pickup.
So, I think in some games they try and get in more uses out of using the cars just besides combat, and
Yeah.
this is one of those. So, for your vehicle, you can go ahead and shuffle these if you like, but once you're done,
I'm just gonna cut him.
okay, and you'll pick a card,
Yeah.
any card, and
8 of diamonds.
all right, on the 8 of down, you have a loud muffler.
Oh.
A vehicle can be heard coming a mile away.
All right, cool. I have a loud muffler. Cool. All right.
What are some of the
And
other-
no matter how much I try to patch it, it's just loud.
Maybe that's why you're the trouble magnet, because you have that loud muffler.
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe. I don't know. Maybe part of it.
We haven't talked that much about it yet, but for the exams, how this basically works is in Savage Rules, to go ahead and advance from a freshman to a sophomore, you're going to need experience like in a normal stock setting.
Right.
Every 5 experience you have, you can spend those to get an advance.
Mm-hmm.
When you're going to go ahead and spend them, what you do before you get that, whatever it is you spent that 5 experiences on, you have to take your semester exam.
Oh, okay. All right, but that only comes in when I want to spend experience points.
Right.
Comes into play. Okay, cool. So now all he needs a name, right? Let's see. Let's call him. Let's see. He's a Texan. He's from Austin. Let's call him. Let's call him Bruce.
I like this name.
It's
It's a strong name.
Bruce. Bruce Dearborn.
Okay.
D-E-R Born. Bruce Dearborn of the Austin Dearborns,
Okay.
which means absolutely nothing. And he, so is it okay if I have my own, like the one thing that he has that he wants to keep with him, of course, is he does have his own drum kit, you know?
Okay.
So like if a band needs a drummer, all right?
So this is what I was talking about for the part-time job.
Yeah.
For extracurricular activities. A lot of what one learns in college doesn't always come from inside the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of each semester, your student can choose one extracurricular activity from the list below. Some of the activities may indicate continuing involvement, such as joining a sorority or fraternity.
Mm-hmm.
Choosing a different activity for a semester doesn't mean the student leaves the organization, but her active involvement is lessened, so
Mm-hmm.
the effects don't apply. It's like I was in Greece, where he was all like, I'm just gonna be chilling and be cool. Oh well, I'm on the track team now. He changed his extracurricular to
Activity.
being on the track team.
I get you.
So I can go off of those, but we pretty much know which one you're going to probably pick. There's athlete, auditing classes, computer library tech, fitness, fraternity, sorority. There's also gamer.
Uh-huh.
Part-time job,
Mm-hmm.
partying hard, party hardy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a tough choice.
Yeah, now I know.
That's a tough choice.
You have 3
for
different
Bruce.
ones now that you're thinking about. Performer, which is
Okay.
different than part-time job.
All right.
Romance, ROTC, Reserve Officer Training Corps for the Army, student organization,
Uh-huh.
teacher aide or tutor,
Uh-huh.
tutoring
I think I know what I'd want.
or volunteer.
I think it's either part-time job, but that's the being a drummer in various bands, or it's performer, being a drummer in various bands.
Performer is this rock and roller or actor is in a garage band, community theater, campus improv, comedy troupe, or the like. This local celeb has +2 to their charisma, with most young people in and or around town because
Okay.
they kind of know you.
That makes sense.
Name fades quickly, however, so even if she's known in future semesters, she doesn't get this bonus unless she
All right.
chooses to focus.
So let's do that. Let's do performer.
Okay.
I think for the first semester.
Here's the bad thing about performer: success requires a continual dedication to rehearsals and performances, applying a -2 to your academics.
Okay. I think this all fits.
Yeah.
So he comes to town. He enrolls in the university. He's in the art program, for music, and he is but he's not going to stop being a performer, or a drummer. So he's kind of like, he's found some guys and he's kind of like started in with the band with them, and he's been doing that along with trying to be in school.
Keep going to classes versus being hungover in the morning.
Right. And maybe these guys, because he just got here, okay, maybe they don't have like a lot of gigs or anything.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just practicing. And so every semester I can change that, right?
Right.
So like next semester, maybe I changed a part-time job because they're gigging.
Well, that's going to be it for Bruce. He's pretty much developed pretty well.
Yep.
There might be a couple other things going on in-game because character concept and creation is what you could be, not what you are or what you will be.
Right.
Hopefully this has been informative for how Savage Worlds works a little bit, especially the setting for East Texas University, ETU.
Yep.
You're an East Texas University Raven, by the way.
A Raven. Okay.
They're the Ravens. They actually have in the book a fight song.
All right.
And whatnot. Hopefully it's been a little bit informative, and if you're curious about the system and the setting, you might want to check it out now. If you're in the gaming group where we're actually going to be playing this, now you know how to make one for ETU. There's a couple other different choices on the table. Thin Blue Line, where you're playing cop in Michigan with weird stuff happening, and Deadlands Noir, which will be being in New Orleans with weird stuff happening. A lot of weird stuff in all three settings, if you realize. So
yeah, we do kind of edge towards the supernatural in our games. So, all right.
And Texas. That's the big thing about this.
It's Texas.
Sometimes there's nothing scary or weird going on. It's just quiet, and it's Texas. And there's crickets. Role play.
All right. Thanks.